I'm going to be talking about the emotions that you go through as a first time parent. Guys, I'm about to be having my third daughter. Tres. And I can't explain to you the amount of emotions that are still going through me right now that I went through the first time. It didn't really settle in, and I don't know if this is going to be the same for you, but when I first heard about it, there were so many emotions that went through my head. I was like, damn, am I ready to be a dad? Is this really going to happen? What did I make a mistake? And I think that's very common. And if you were trying to have a kid and you're having a kid for the first time or whatever time it is, congrats. But some of us out there, it happens on accident, or maybe you're thinking, you know what, I'm just going to do my thing, and if it happens, it happens, right? And maybe you and your spouse agree on it. Like, if it happens, it happens. And we're going to see where life takes us. And that's just how it goes sometimes. But still, at the same time, if it happens, and it does happen, then you're like, fuck. But you figure it out, and that's how it goes. You're a dad, you're a parent, you're going to figure it out. It's just stressful. It's very stressful. And at times you're wondering, maybe I should have waited a little longer. And I'm still thinking this on kid 3. But I'm done after this. I'm done for sure. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about first-time parents, first-time dad. When I was becoming a first-time dad, I was looking at resources, and there wasn't a lot of resources for men. Straight up. Especially when it came to moms. Moms out there have unlimited amounts of resources, it feels like. But at the same time, mom's the one that's going through it all. Mom has all the hormones, all the body changes, the one that's, worried about what's going to be happening to their body and what to expect. Whereas we don't really care. I mean, we care, but we don't really care. Not to that extent, right? If you care about your partner and you want to follow along with their process, great, kudos to you. For me personally, I was going to parenting classes with my spouse at the time because I wanted to be prepared too, and I wanted to show my partner that, I was taking this serious and I was ready. I was on board, 100%. Let's get it done. And that's all I encourage you to do. I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and to go do these classes. If your partner wants to go do these classes, you go do them with them. Or if your partner is going through the first trimester and they're experiencing a lot of emotions. I know right now, my partner, when she was going through the first trimester, because we're in the second now, but when she was going through the first one, she was mean. Boy, she was mean. And she took a lot of frustration out on me, and at times I was thinking, like, what the hell did I do? I didn't do shit. But that's just part of it. That's part of the hormones. And you got to be mentally tough and tell yourself, hey, this is exactly what's going on. It's not that my wife or my spouse doesn't love me. It's not that I'm just a piece of shit to them. It's, in reality, they're going through all this stuff. And you just kind of have to, bite your way through it. And say, this is not going to be forever. Because second trimester is here. My wife loves me again. She's always trying to cuddle me. And at times I'm like, please, woman, leave me alone. Now you leave me alone. But, yeah, so I want you guys to remember that. First time dads, if you are going through this, it's going to be tough. Mentally, it's going to be so tough. You got your own emotions that you're going through. And you got your spouses. And so you have to hold such an amount of weight on your shoulders. Because they feel like they have weight. They do, for sure. Physically and mentally. But you got a lot of mental weight on your shoulders that you just kind of have to tackle on. And that's just part of being a first-time parent, as a spouse, and as a new dad. But you're going to get through these trimesters. And that's where so for me, second trimester, it like kind of, I know my wife's pregnant, but it's like in the back of my mind now, okay? All those initial thoughts of like, oh, fuck, did I mess up? Like they still come up, but they're not every day. They're not all day. And you start living your life again. You're starting to think, okay, I can do X, Y, and Z. I can watch my TV. I could go do whatever it is I need to do. I could go on dates, yada, yada, yada. But you start living life again as normal. And then third trimester comes. Starts off, same thing. Still doing your own thing. Still just an adult in the world with no kiddos. But then it's down to the last few weeks. And you're right back in the initial state. You're thinking, God damn it, it's happening. I'm about to be a dad. Now what? Now what? Or sometimes you're just like, all right, I'm ready just for my kid to pop out. Like, hurry up. Hurry your little ass up. Get out of there. I'm ready. I'm ready for this challenge. If you're like me, I've always been the type of person that, like, if it's a school project or anything, I always want to do it first. I want to be the first person that does it because I want to get it out of the way. I don't want to be just having that emotion still on and, you know, just the unexpected just lingering around. It drives me nuts. And so although during my first kid, I was just like going through my emotions of, oh man, this is really happening. It very fast and very quickly came up to, all right, get your little ass out of there. I'm ready to meet you, and I know it's going to be challenging. I know it's going to be tough, but I'm ready. So tell yourself that. Tell yourself you're ready. That's so important. But I remember, so I've never changed a diaper in my life. I've never even held the damn baby when I was having my first kiddo. And I remember, I knew this, you know, when I had my kid, I knew that I was so unprepared. I was so unprepared. But at the same time, I had that mindset of, this is my kid, and I don't give a damn. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to be and I made it a goal in my mind. I don't know if you need to make it a goal, but it worked for me. I made it a goal that I was going to change my kid's first diaper. Make that your goal. I challenge you. Because then you do it, and you're just like, this shit's easy. Why was I even scared? And I don't know if you like The Office, but I immediately thought of when Jim was practicing. He was practicing on the football and all this other shit. And I remember telling myself before I had my kiddo, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to practice. And I never did. I just knew in the back of my mind that it couldn't be that difficult. And boy, was I right. It wasn't that difficult. And obviously, if you have a woman spouse who is having the baby, they know how to wipe. And so if you don't know how to wipe properly, you could ask, say, how the hell do I wipe? If you're having a girl. If you're a man, then you know how to wipe your ass. But you know what I mean. So challenge yourself. Say, hey, I'm going to be the first one that does it. And that's exactly what I did. And just be there. Be there for your spouse. You're going to be tired. I promise you that. Water break. I had what was called the doula. A doula. But, which was very interesting. I know you're like, what the fuck is this? He's just talking about random shit now. Especially if you're a man. You don't know what the hell a doula is. But if you're going to have your baby at a hospital, this probably won't even come up. But we were going to plan on having a water birth. And so we had a doula. And the way our lady talked to us about it was she was there for me. And I thought, what? Me? But she was there for me to better assist my spouse and my partner at the time. And I had mixed emotions about it. I liked the idea of like her being there for me, like to teach me what was going to happen, what to expect, how to be the best partner I could be. But at the same time, I feel like it just would all came naturally. Granted, when it came down to showtime and it was almost time to pop, she was there. And like that's why I'm trying to tie in, you're going to be tired. So my partner was in labor for like 48 hours. It was something insane. It was a long damn time. And I was just trying to be the almighty, best husband, partner, and I wanted to show my spouse that, hey, you're going to be going through all this shit, but you're not going to be alone. You got me. And so if she was awake, I was awake. I was making sure that she was taken care of and was as comfortable as possible, because you could just tell they're so uncomfortable. They're scared themselves because they don't even know what the hell to expect. They just know it's going to hurt, and this little thing's going to be coming out of a small little hole. Sorry. But it came down to the point where our doula was there and was just like, hey, boss, I'm going to tag you out. You go take a little nap. And I was just like, hell yeah. So that will be forever remembered, that I got tag teamed and I took a nap. But don't be that person that is like, oh, there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to go to sleep. Or I'm going to just play my fucking game. Don't be a lazy piece of shit. And I mean that. Because we are better than that. And if you don't like that answer, then see ya. I understand. But for me personally, I want to show my kiddos that I'm very active and I do care. And that starts at my spouse. If I can't show my spouse that I care and that I want to be an active parent, then how am I going to show my kids that? And so that's why I wanted to, be part of my whole spouse's process, and just showed her that I could care and that I do care, because I knew if I could show her, then there's no doubt in my mind I could show my kids. I am 100% down for them, and I'm going to be invested in all their life. And that's what I did. So I encourage you to do that, but that went down a rabbit hole, and I'm sorry, but I think it was a very valuable rabbit hole. But that was all tied into the limited amount of resources, because when I looked at resources when I was becoming a first-time dad, I just saw the very limited amount of items out there and the very vast amount of resources for moms, and I was just like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to figure it out. And plus, like, the resources I did find, it wasn't like related to my personality. I'm very much like a goofy, unserious, sassy, I don't know, kind of dude. And everything out there was like so medical or serious. And I was just like, blah, I ain't doing that. So, and everything's just like dad jokes. Because, I mean, we are dads, and I am unserious, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't need a fucking dad joke. I need to figure out what the hell is going to go on in my kid's life. And so that's what I want for you guys. I want to be that for you guys. I want to be a resource that is relatable and offers you guys valuable information that you guys can either take or leave. By all means, take or leave, whatever it is. But I won't talk about it too much more, but I want you guys, when the kid is born, when your child is born, just always have that mindset of you're going to figure it out. No matter how many resources you read or find, no matter how many videos, if you watch any of my videos and you find any of them valuable, no matter how many videos you watch of mine, your situation's different than mine. That's straight up. I don't have a playbook or a line by line of what's going to happen. There's going to be so many different things that are challenging for you, and you got to just figure it out. Simple as that. You and your spouse got to figure it out. There's going to be so many things that are going to challenge you mentally. For me personally too, and for a lot of people I know, the first few years or first year is very challenging for you and your spouse. That's because like you guys are new parents. You guys are trying to figure it out. And so you guys are trying to figure out how to be a parent. You're trying to figure out how to be a spouse. You're trying to figure out just how to live your life with this new little being that you're responsible for. And it's hard. And at times it's very stressful for your relationship. There's going to be so many things that you guys have to be able to communicate, like who's going to get up, who's going to change the diapers, what's the feeding situation going to be like. And there's going to be things that you didn't even expect that are going to just piss you off. There's going to be so many things that piss you off, even if it's not from your spouse. It could just be from work. It could be from work, and it's going to come carry right back into your house, and just your daughter, your son is going to cry, or your spouse is going to be a little stressed out because they've been with the kid all day, whatever your situation looks like, and that's going to upset you. And you're going to think, what am I going to do? What am I doing wrong? I feel like I'm doing this, that, all of the above, and I still feel like I'm not enough. And I won't dive too much into it because, like I said, every situation is different, but I'll briefly share mine. So for me personally, this is the way I view it. My ex might view it a different way. But for me, I was working very long hours, and I worked in a town that was like an hour away from our home. And sometimes I was doing 10, 12-hour days. And I would come home after driving an hour back from work, and I immediately thought, I'm going to tag in, bang, I'm going to be the dad, I'm going to let her rest. And I know that's very difficult for some people, and some, ladies out there might be like, oh, that's ideal, I would love that. But let me tell you, it was very hard. It was so hard to do. Every day, just come in, be able to do that. And I also made it a mission. I put a lot of weight on my shoulders. Myself. I did it by myself. But in the middle of the night, so my ex didn't breastfeed. And so we bottle fed. And so I made that a thing too. I was going to let my partner sleep every night. And if not every night, it was 95% of the nights. I would always wake up. I would always be the one that fed. And I wanted to take that weight off. And like I said, that might be viewed completely different from the other party. But that's my mindset. My mindset was I fed all the damn time. I was the one always putting back to sleep. And then I was the one waking up early as hell to go to work. And so I felt like I was dying. And that this isn't to stress you away from having your kid or whatever, especially if this is the parent you want to be, the partner you want to be. But you got to be able to communicate what you're going through. And that's where I lacked. I felt like I couldn't communicate my emotions, what I was feeling, without it being being perceived as an attack. And so that's where we struggled, was communication. So I highly advise, if possible, that you guys work out your communication, because it's going to be so hard. And at the end of the day, you guys have each other, and that's what's important, and you need to be able to communicate. You guys are both going to be tired. That's facts. It's not a dick measuring contest either between you and your spouse. Like, I'm more tired because of this. I'm more tired because of that. You guys got to figure it out. Okay, how about I get it this night? I took a nap today or something. I took a nap with the kiddo. How about I do this? I know I'm still tired, but I'm going to handle this. But be able to understand your own limit too. Don't be like me and put yourself in a situation where you put on so much weight where it just became like the natural thing, like the known thing. I was known for the one to get up. There was no more real like tag teaming it. It was me. That was it. I was the guy that got up. And I'm sure that's how most females feel, especially if you breastfeed. I'm the one that gets up. I'm the one that feeds. It's never him. And so you got to be able to balance it out. I don't have an answer for you on that one. And I'm sorry. I wish I did. But just keep that in your mind, is there's going to be so many unanswered things that you guys got to be able to talk. If you guys can communicate, you guys are going to be just fine. You guys are going to be tired. You guys are going to be stressed. But you guys are going to be able to talk about it. You guys are going to be able to figure shit out. And then there's no stopping you. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you find this valuable at all, I know I just talked random shit. But if you find it valuable, please like, follow, leave a comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me what worked for you. I want to know what worked for you because I have another kid on the way. It's been years. It's been years since I've been a newborn dad. And this is all going to be fresh again to me. I got to figure this shit out. And this time I got other little kids that I got to tackle on top of it. So you tell me what worked for you. If anything worked for you and you got any advice, I am all ears. But please share with your friends. Share with anybody that you think that might find this valuable to, your buddy AJ down the road that's having a kid, or, Samantha, her and her husband are having a kid. I'm just throwing names out there. But if you find it valuable, please like, please share it, and let me know what you think. But with that being said, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys. Peace.